Alright, welcome back, folks. We're just waiting for an airplane to leave the runway, and then we will go.
He's taking a sweet time.
It is, isn't he? We'll listen to the weather, too.
Altimeter 30.
Just so you know what kind of winds I had to deal with. My goodness, like hurricane force.
1,500. Smithfield.
Traffic Ocean 268 to Papa Charlie, clear at PN Texan.
1425 Zulu. Wind 260 at 11. Visibility.
Just 11. And Beaufort traffic, Bonanza 2357 November's departing runway 26, Beaufort.
Alright, lights, air conditioner off. We'll leave the blower on.
Alright, and then mixture rich.
Extra rich.
That's it.
Alright.
I'm ready. I don't see anybody.
Everybody on final.
I don't think our blower blows as hard as it could either. I think it's getting a little weak.
Well, we'll get moving here a little bit. Maybe pick up some.
It'd cool off at 6.
Cool off some.
I looked earlier. I didn't look right before we left, but 6 and 4 were about the same time going back.
Uh-huh.
So I picked 6. It would be some, especially single engine.
All right, 2626.
Take a lot more right rudder because we have
Forward, and forward.
not as much right rudder as some airplanes because the nose wheel is canted a little bit on a Bonanza to help counteract that torque.
Yep, airspeed is alive. We're green all the way down.
It's like 85, 90, somewhere in there.
There's
Where
80.
she goes. Tap the brakes. Positive rate. Gear comes up.
Here comes up and
Lights go off.
no lights off.
And then yaw damp is that top one.
Y'all damn on.
And then air conditioning.
Better than 100 and air conditioning.
All right, thank you. That's the main part of the checklist I want you to find.
That air conditioning for right now. That's exactly right.
6 miles to
And then now that we're kind of climbing, I'll hit vertical speed. It locked into what you were doing.
Right.
And then I'll shallow it to 500.
I was actually looking at our
Yeah, your airspeed.
At our airspeed,
yeah. 100's VY, so it's anything above that is good.
all right.
And then if you want to just bug yourself around, however you want to do it. Bug it around with the heading bug. I can put you in heading mode. I can recenter you up. Oh, you hit it again after I hit it. There you go. Now it's in heading. I'm going to hit direct. Activate. That centered our course up. Now we can nav it, right? I'm going to switch to Cherry Point. Try to get it before these clouds, maybe, who knows, we'll see. But you can do like 500 or so. That'll definitely keep our cylinder. See how our cylinder temperatures are getting warm. Just to keep us cool. Cherry Point arrival, Bonanza 2357 November. And we just leave everything wide open.
2257 November, Cherry Point arrival, Cherry Point altimeter 3001.
3001, and it's 2357 November. We're just off of Beaufort looking to pick up the IFR back to Greensboro.
57 November, squawk 2143.
2143, 57 November. And then enter. On the bottom there. Ours might be different than yours because we have our comms built in.
Yeah, we've got it down here.
Yeah. And some people that don't have the remote comms, if they have separate radios, it's a different look too.
Yeah.
And the only concern here is if you're not talking to them yet, that you get above the 2600, but we're good, right?
Right, yeah.
And we're talking
November
to them.
57 November, radar contact 3 miles northwest of, Beaufort, altitude indicates 2000.
Altitude checks, 57 November. No, you didn't get my
57
claims.
November, you're cleared to Piedmont International Airport as filed, climb and maintain 6000.
Okay, cleared to Greensboro as filed, 6000, 57 November. All right, so we're good now.
All right. So it's still at 6,000. We
It's
didn't
on,
change
yep.
anything.
And 57 November, say on course heading to Greensboro, Piedmont.
308.
Roger, thanks, sir.
The way we're pointed. How about that?
Yeah, it's exactly right. We're heading that direction right now.
Yeah, the way we're pointed, as I've said that, really confused them, right? And my guess, I'm going to pull this back to 25 too.
All right.
Technically, you can leave it wide open all the way if you wanted to, but usually shortly after takeoff. Some people get on to me about that, pulling it too soon. I'm like, eh. Roger Smith, I don't know if you know Roger. He used to say, Dad, don't touch that till you get a little out there. Because he said if the engine's gonna come apart, it's probably when you're pulling it back. You put a little strain on it. But I'm like, it's loud, it's noisy. I try to be kind to the neighbors.
Yeah, it's typical. That's your 25 squared. I don't normally pull back
The
the throttle
Bonanzas
either.
well, in the POH it says not to, because you're not getting the right fuel flow if you pull it back.
That's right.
If I pull it back, like right now, if I watch the fuel flow, if I pull it back to 25,
Yeah.
my fuel flow went way down.
Oh yeah. So typically we'll pull the mixture to 22. We'll pull the prop to 25, and we'll leave the throttles wide open.
Right. But you can see my altitude's ticking down. It's saying 6. We're at 3.
Yep.
And as we climb, it'll trickle down very slowly. Whereas in the G version, the G1000, you would see the little marker and you would lean it as you go. So I'd be steadily, as every 1,000 feet or so, I'd be leaning it a little bit. I didn't do this one either. I'll do this one too. Direct, and then I hit recent. Greensboro. The two most recent are the places I go.
Same places.
Sometimes I go to Illinois. I've been to Illinois in this thing. It's a long ride, 3.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping he don't do that again. Especially in the we've been in the winter. I've had icing issues. It's been terrible. Yeah, I think that's going to come on inshore. Looks like, unless it just kind of hovers there. Some nasty weather.
We had going to Fort Lauderdale in February. You have thunderstorms in Florida, and in Richmond you have snow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Greensboro Tower, Bonanza 2357 November, RNF 32. So you can see we're below the glide slope.
Yep.
November 2357 November, Greensboro Tower, wind calm, runway 32, cleared to land.
Clear land 32, 2357 November. So if your power's at 20 or slower, like say 18 would be a good approach power setting, right?
Yep.
Just like flying an approach. So pull it back to like say 18. That will keep us below our gear speed. Since we're descending, it's going to capture. If it grabs the glide slope before we get to 27, which it could, right? And it's fine, it's going to. It just did. So grab your gear, for our speed checks, gear comes down, 1 notch of flaps, lights come on, 1 notch of flaps. So now we're flying it down, right?
Yep.
But what I was trying to talk real quick before it did it, because as soon as it grabs it, it might nose down faster and you might get above gear speed, so you got to be ready to hurry up to it.
Yeah, you got to be in a hurry. Or you got to not
dilly-dally.
You're in a hurry, but not in a rush.
Right.
Greensboro Tower, Skyline 5.
Like one of my other guys I follow, Dick Rochford, who flies the Meridians and Malibus. He says,
takeoff, fly runway
without delay, quick, without delay, or he says, so I forget, I wish I could remember exactly how, he says it a lot. He says something.
Runway heading, clear takeoff, 23 left, 560 Bravo. November 2357 November, traffic Skyline departing, runway 23 left, straight out.
Okay, 57 November. Yep, we've been cleared to land, right?
Yep.
So now we're just waiting for full flaps, and we could do that at decision height in this plane, right? Right at decision height, which is what, 1,100 feet or whatever it is?
1102. All right, I'm holding a little bit of right rudder because we got a little bit of crosswind going on here.
Well, the yaw damp is still in there.
A little bit.
The yaw damp is still in, so he's still kind of helping. So technically, should need left rudder on the descent.
Yeah.
That could be the wind doing that.
Yeah.
But watch when we get to 1,100 feet, I'm going to have you get full flaps, leave the autopilot on just for a second.
All right.
So he can trim it.
Right.
And then when you kick it off, it's going to be trimmed, speed's going to be good. You'll lose about 10 knots with that one other notch of flaps. So it'll be perfect, right? Our speed is good right now.
Oh, yeah.
So this is kind of to simulate if we broke out right at minimums. You're still far enough away from the airport.
Oh, yeah.
It'll slow that 10 knots. Unless we were going into a super short strip, I wouldn't be too worried about configuring early. They do factor it in on a go-around, though, that you are going to descend below DA, right? A little bit.
Right.
He's doing a pretty good job. He does better on an RNAV than he would a ILS, because ILS, you gets a little squirrely as you get closer.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it does a lot better on a GPS. And then as you're coming down, keep your power at that 17, 18, right? Somewhere in there. Because it increases as we go down.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can get our mixture rich if you want. And then all that's left is full flaps.
Oh, we got flap.
Autopilot,
Y'all yep.
So before you kick anything off, get the flaps, let it slow, let him trim, kick it off. And then it's nice and stable, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
5638 Bravo.
I let the George do a lot of the work for me.
Absolutely.
Same way in the Baron. I let him trim it up before I kick it off. Because I don't want that jolt too, you know.
All right, there's 1200.
All right, so here, start get ready for your flaps. So here comes full flaps. We'll go ahead and get them.
All right, full flap.
They're moving and indicated.
All right, and
he's trimming. See him trimming? He trim. He did trim a bunch already.
autopilot off.
All right. And it should be fairly trimmed, right?
Yeah.
And then you just ease the power off when you're ready. Looking good. We're doing 100 knots. That's a good speed, and it's gradually slowing. Gradually slowing. I just like the bearing. It handles the crosswind pretty well, right? We're fairly heavy. All right, and then I'll get flaps up, cow flaps open, and we'll roll down to Alpha 2. And then usually I'll push the prop 4 too and pull the mixture back. And then be ready for your 1,000 RPM. We're going to Corey.
Flaps, mixture prop.
Alpha 2 straight to the ramp with me. We'll see you later.
Alpha 2 straight in with you, 5-7 November. You know what I'm saying? As we get slow.
Yeah, we want to bring that RPMs back up.
Yeah, because it will die on us. So we're going straight in with him.
Alpha 2.
Then we'll get the lights. Sorry, I'm doing stuff for you.
Yep,
so
you're okay.
Hey,
all right,
you can slap my hands.
No. My flow would be flaps, props, mixture, and trim for takeoff, and lights.
Yeah, very good.
And switches, and we'd come back on with the air conditioner at that point, which I
leave mine on.
Or we've got that air conditioner on because it's hot.